Before we start the actual content of this presentation, you should know that this video has been recorded for use in more than one class. As a result, there may be some things in this video that do not apply to the specific class that you are taking. Please just consider that an added bonus at no extra charge. This particular presentation will cover a number of financial tools used in evaluating the choice between potential projects. I should also add that the formats have been pre-entered into this video to save time on the video. You most likely won't have that luxury if you are doing this in the real world. So let's get started. As I say in all my videos, the uses and workings of these tools and principles are explained in your textbook or on the web. These videos are just to show how to calculate the numbers and to show in what format the numbers are usually presented. The next analysis is the modified internal rate of return. It does use the discount rate. Highlight the workbook cell under MIRR, type in an equals sign, followed by MIRR and an open parenthesis. Highlight the workbook cells to the right from the minus $650,000 to the $370,000. Enter a comma, highlight the 7.5%, enter a comma, again highlight the 7.5%, enter a close parenthesis, and press enter. The modified internal rate of return for the first project is 19.24%. Since this formula is a little more complicated, let's use the copy function and then fix the cell references to the discount rate. Highlight the 19.24%, and while holding down the Control key, press the C key. Arrow down one line, and while holding down the Control key, press the V key. It's important to recognize that the 23.93% showing for the second project is not correct. When the formula was copied, the discount rate was changed from 7.5% to 0%, as the cell reference in the function for the second project points to an empty workbook cell. To fix that, highlight the 23.93% and press the F2 key. Notice that the last two cell references in the function say C48, which is an empty cell. Arrow once to the left so that the cursor is between the 8 and the close parenthesis. Press the backspace key once and type a 7. Press the left arrow key 4 times. Press the backspace key to delete the 8 and enter a 7, and press enter. The correct modified internal rate of return for the second project is 26.61%. Like the prior two analyses, this indicates that the second project should be chosen. Accounting textbooks show the modified internal rate of return as a percentage to 1 or 2 decimal places. Use what your textbook shows. The profitability index is another measure that is sometimes used. It again uses the net present value function, but divides the net present value of the cash inflows by the positive value of the initial investment. Highlight the workbook cell under PI. Type in an equals sign, followed by NPV, followed by an open parenthesis. Highlight the 7.5% and follow it with a comma. Highlight the positive cash flow workbook cells from $280,000 to $370,000. Enter a close parenthesis, followed by a slash denoting division, followed by a minus sign to switch the sign of the initial investment. Highlight the minus $650,000 and press enter. The profitability index for the first project is 1.3648. In the workbook cell under the 1.3648, enter the same formula using the 7.5% and the numbers on the second project line. With a PI for the second project of 1.6339, the second project again should be chosen. Finally, the payback period is examined. This is a straightforward calculation that estimates how long it will take all of the initial investment to be recouped. If the cash flow stream is straight line, there is an easier way to do this by dividing the initial investment by the annual cash inflow. But this example uses a fluctuating income stream, which is much more common. This analysis requires more lines than the analyses that we have done so far. The actual cash flow has been filled in, as with the prior analyses. However, to do a proper payback, discounted cash flow needs to be completed. With a fluctuating income stream, the discount has to be done individually for each year. To do so, highlight the workbook cell under the minus $650,000, type in an equals sign, highlight the minus $650,000, type in a slash followed by an open parenthesis, followed by a 1 and a plus sign. Highlight the 7.5%, press the F4 key once, and type in a close parenthesis, followed by a caret, denoting raising something to a power. Highlight the underlined 0 2 workbook cells up and press Enter. The dollar signs that were inserted into the formula where the F4 key was pressed serve the purpose of locking the reference to the cell with the discount rate in the formula when the formula is copied. What that means is that the formula which resulted can be copied across the line without having to be modified. Highlight the minus $650,000 next to discounted cash flow, and while holding down the Control key, press the C key. Highlight the 3 empty cells to the right, and while holding down the Control key, press the V key. To fill out the bottom line of the framework, there will actually need to be 2 different formulas. The first is really basic. Highlight the empty workbook cell below the minus $650,000. Type in an equals sign, arrow up 1 workbook cell and press Enter. Next, highlight the workbook cell under the $260,465, type in an equals sign, arrow up 1 cell, type in a plus sign, arrow left 1 cell, and press Enter. Highlight the minus $389,535. While holding the Control key down, press the C key. Arrow 1 cell to the right, and while holding the Control key down, press the V key. Arrow 1 more cell to the right, and while holding the Control key down, press the V key. The framework is now almost completely filled in. The last thing to do is to calculate the discounted payback period. Please note that the formula that will be entered needs to go in the cell directly under the last negative number in the bottom line of the framework. Highlight the workbook cell under the minus $60,708, type in an equals sign, highlight the 2 at the top of that column, type in a minus to reverse the case of the following division. Highlight the minus $60,708, type in a slash denoting division, highlight the $297,835 in the next column to the right, and press Enter. The bottom line to this exercise is that it will take 2.2 years for this project to break even. Since the cell with the discount rate has been locked into the formulas in the first project, the bottom 2 lines of the first project can be copied into the same space for the second project. To do so, highlight the block of cells starting with the middle $650,000, across the rest of that line of numbers and down 1 line to include the $237,127. Hold down the Control key and press the C key. Highlight the cell under the minus $415,000 in the lower framework on your screen. Hold down the Control key and press the V key. The framework is now almost completely filled in. Highlight the 2.20 in the upper framework. Hold down the Control key and press the C key. Highlight the workbook cell under the minus $18,678 and press the V key while holding down the Control key. With a shorter time to pay back the initial investment, the choice of project should again be the second one. One final comment, that when copying formulas, you need to double check that the copy didn't mess up the cells that are being referenced against what should be referenced. Copying formulas can bring wrong results if you are not very careful.